During antiquity through the Ottoman era, Greek society was haunted by chilling legends of the Vrykolakas, undead spirits believed to rise from improper burials. These eerie tales fueled widespread fears, influencing religious practices, social customs, and cultural identity, as communities grappled with the terrifying possibility of restless souls returning to seek vengeance or solace. The Vrykolakas myths not only reflected anxieties about death and morality but also shaped Greek beliefs and traditions for centuries. Eager to uncover the fascinating origins and enduring impact of these ghostly legends? Dive into this captivating account of how fear of the dead left an indelible mark on Greek history. Origins of anxiety. The ancient roots of the Vrykolakas. In ancient Greece, death was not just an end but a journey to the underworld, governed by gods like Hades. Yet, stories circulated that improperly laid to rest spirits could haunt the living, a fear rooted in the belief that the soul's improper passage could lead to a Vrykolakas-like creature. These fears, documented in early mythologies, often surfaced during social upheavals or plagues, where death's boundary was blurred, and the fear of the dead's return grew. Rituals aimed to secure the soul's safe passage, but lapses or neglect could invoke horror stories of the undead rising, causing communities to tighten funeral rites and forbid disturbing graves. The influence of folklore and myth played a significant role in shaping perceptions of the dead. Stories of restless spirits, vengeful shades, and wandering souls spread through oral traditions across Greek city-states, blending with local taboos. Such stories often served as social warnings. Disrupting graves or neglecting the dead could invoke their wrath. Clans and neighborhoods passed down tales warning of souls that could not find peace, classified as Vrykolakas, emphasizing the importance of honoring the dead correctly to prevent supernatural unrest. Religious beliefs during the Hellenistic period emphasized the importance of proper burial and rituals, leading to strong societal sanctions against improper interment. The fear of turning a corpse into a Vrykolakas was both spiritual and practical, as communities tried to protect themselves from what was believed to be a contagious, malevolent undead. Parish priests and elders enforced strict burial practices, often validating these stories by recounting episodes of supposed resurrections or ghostly appearances rooted in improper burials, thus reinforcing societal cohesion and reverence for tradition. The Roman and early Byzantine eras saw the integration of Christian doctrine, which further deepened fears of Vrykolakas. The Church condemned necromancy and unholiness, but folk tales persisted that if a body was not properly blessed or if a soul was excommunicated, the dead might rise as a Vrykolakas. Such stories were potent warnings to the populace, illustrating spiritual dangers tied to morality, sin, and divine judgment, all cloaked in the terrifying image of the undead lurking in the shadows of Greece's cemeteries. Throughout antiquity and into the early medieval period, the stories of Vrykolakas became part of a collective subconscious that wove supernatural fears into daily life. The local authorities, priests, and healers often debated and reinforced these myths through rituals and exorcisms, attempting to control the fears associated with death. They also used these stories to explain misfortunes, plagues, failed crops, or unexplainable deaths, blaming them on the resurgence of the dead, creating a complex web where death, morality, and societal stability were tightly intertwined. The Ottoman era and the persistence of horror. During the Ottoman occupation from the 15th to 19th centuries, Greek communities faced repression and instability. Yet, their folklore, especially tales of Vrykolakas, remained resilient. These stories became a means to reinforce cultural identity, emphasizing the importance of ritual purity and community cohesion. Local elders narrated tales of Vrykolakas haunting villages, especially during times of plague or social disorder, serving as moral lessons about respecting traditions to avoid unleashing chaos from beyond the grave. The role of the Church intensified during Ottoman rule, wielding religious authority to curb superstitions while simultaneously fostering fear of the undead. Clerics preached that improper burials, due to poverty, neglect, or excommunication, could transform the deceased into Vrykolakas. Many villagers, in fear of divine punishment, would undertake elaborate rituals, including communal prayers, exorcisms, and burial rites, all aimed at ensuring the soul's salvation and preventing of Vrykolakas' return. Folklore also served political purposes. Stories of Vrykolakas subtly reinforced social hierarchies and moral codes. Tales depicted the undead punishing the immoral or disobedient, thus promoting adherence to community norms. These stories circulated among both rural and urban populations, often intertwined with local legends of saints and martyrs, which emphasized divine justice and the importance of community purity, especially under the oppression of Ottoman authorities. During outbreaks of disease and social upheaval, tales of Vrykolakas surged, providing explanations for inexplicable deaths and disasters. These stories reinforced a sense of vulnerability but also offered a form of social control, emphasizing that respecting sacred customs could safeguard the community from supernatural retribution, thus helping preserve order during uncertain times. Despite Ottoman suppression, the legend remained vibrant in popular consciousness. Folk healers, called magoi, claimed to control or eliminate Vrykolakas through rituals, charms, and prayers. Their practices reflected a blend of pagan elements and Christian doctrine, illustrating the syncretic nature of Greek culture during this period and the ongoing struggle to maintain spiritual sovereignty over fears of the undead. The 19th century and the echoes of the old fear. As Greece waged its War of Independence, 1821 to 1830, stories of Vrykolakas took on new significance. Rebels, villagers, and intellectuals grappled with tradition versus progress, but the fear of the undead lingered, often used allegorically to symbolize oppressive forces or the ghosts of past sins haunting a nation striving for freedom. Tales spread of Vrykolakas appearing in battlefields or cemeteries, warning against disregarding ancestral rites amid revolutionary fervor. Urban centers like Athens and Salonika saw a resurgence in folk narratives, where the supernatural was intertwined with burgeoning modernity. Despite increased Western influence, many Greeks clung to superstitions, believing that improper burials during turbulent times could revive the dead as Vrykolakas, causing outbreaks of fear and suspicion within communities. Medical practices and emerging scientific explanations began to challenge these beliefs, but deep-rooted fears persisted. Literature and theater of the period frequently depicted Vrykolakas, blending myth with national identity. Writers such as Adamantios Kore referenced these legends symbolically to critique societal decay or moral failings. These stories vividly illustrated the tension between emerging modern ideas and enduring superstitions, often evoking feelings of dread, guilt, and the desire for social purity. The late 19th century saw some authorities advocating for rational medicine, but rural Greece remained steeped in superstition. Tales of Vrykolakas served as moral lessons, warning against neglecting the dead, disrespecting elders, or breaking social norms. Rituals like blessed graves, prayers, and exorcisms were still widely practiced, often led by local priests or magoi, reinforcing community bonds amidst rapid changes. The legend of the Vrykolakas was now a cultural touchstone, deeply embedded in Greek consciousness. It influenced diverse expressions, folk songs, proverbs, and oral histories, each carrying moral weight. These stories persisted as warnings and comfort in times of crisis, embodying the collective hope that proper rituals could stymie the undead and preserve social order. Legends and modern memory. The enduring shadow. Today, Vrykolakas stories are woven into Greek popular culture, films, novels, and Halloween-like festivals that celebrate or critique old superstitions. The undead figure remains a potent symbol of the mysterious and the moral, reflecting a collective memory that oscillates between fear and nostalgia. In modern religious practice, many still perform traditional funeral rites, reflecting the deep-rooted importance of respecting the dead to prevent supernatural disturbances. Even skeptics acknowledge that these stories serve a psychological function, helping communities cope with death and maintain social cohesion amidst rapid modernization. Popular media often reimagines Vrykolakas, blending horror with comedy, reflecting the multifaceted relationship Greeks have with their folklore. These stories warn, entertain, and serve as cultural touchstones, ensuring that the legend remains alive for future generations. The enduring belief in Vrykolakas reveals a universal truth. Myths rooted in genuine human fears about mortality and morality are resilient. Their persistence in Greece exemplifies how folklore shapes identity, moral values, and collective memory across centuries, linking past and present in an unbroken chain of cultural consciousness. Reflections. The legacy of fear and faith. The legends serve as a mirror to Greek society's historical struggles, colonial dominance, religious transformation, war, and modernization. Each era reinterpreting the undead in ways that reflect collective anxieties and hopes. Religious and cultural tensions surface vividly in these stories, where ancient pagan beliefs and Christian doctrines intertwine, creating a unique spiritual landscape. This syncretism shaped the Greek attitude toward death, morality, and the supernatural, making the Vrykolakas a vessel for moral tales. The stories emphasize the importance of social cohesion, proper burial, respecting elders, moral integrity, values that continue to influence Greek society today. The fear of individual moral failure leading to supernatural retribution underscores a collective emphasis on morality. The psychological and emotional weight of the legend, especially the fear of the unknown, resonates even now, influencing Greek attitudes toward death and the afterlife. It serves as a reminder of humanity's eternal curiosity and fear about what lies beyond life. Modern Greece, with its rich tapestry of history and culture, continues to wrestle with the legacies of these legends. Whether through art, literature, or ritual, the Vrykolakas reminds us that beneath rationality lies a deep, collective need to confront mortality and morality, uniting past fears with present identity.